Welcome everyone to Not That Media. My name is John, and in this series of videos I will be giving 31 film recommendations across 31 days. I'll be giving brief, spoiler-free synopsis and highlighting a particular scene that has made this one of my personal favourite films to watch in October. There will be something funny, something spooky. It won't always be Halloween, but there will be certainly some scary stuff in there. So come along with me as I count down my 31 days of Halloween. 1992's Ghostwatch was a BBC production that terrified Britain on the 31st of October 1992. Despite being part of the BBC's Drama Screen 1 series, the presence of trusted presenters, along with a quality production, managed to convince thousands of people that the events they were witnessing on screen were genuine and taking place on live television. Sarah Green and Craig Charles report from a reputably haunted London home for the outside broadcast, whilst Michael Parkinson and Mike Smith stay in the warmth and safety of a BBC studio. The Early family are allegedly being harassed by the Ghost Pipes, so named as his banging and crashing were initially attributed to bad plumbing. After a deliberately slow start, the tension builds, culminating in a terrifying crescendo, and although the feature is entirely fictional, the masterly combination of a great script, intuitive direction and perfect casting made this supernatural pastiche appear frighteningly real. It was an inspiration to a generation of filmmakers and years ahead of the profusion of the found footage movies that would follow. Ghostwatch is regarded as a classic of the genre and remains as relevant and terrifying and inspirational today. As part of my 31 days of Halloween, I've been isolating one scene per video to give you a reason to go and watch this film, or give you an insight as to why I'm including it on my 31 days of Halloween. I am not going to talk about one particular scene in Ghostwatch, because I don't think you can. I think to give you anything or to show you anything is too much of a spoiler. I think this is a thing that needs to be watched in its entirety without people talking about it, without people giving away major details, and all I'm going to do right now is talk about just how amazing in 1992, the creators and the director and the producer and the cast, etc., managed to pay off an ultimate confusion and ultimate deception that was so controversial at its time. The BBC have only broadcast Ghostwatch once, and they were actually given a strike and a notice afterwards to be told, this is against the BBC values, never make anything like this again. This was a real effort from the BBC and the producers to deceive its audience, which went against its standard and practices about being an open, honest, educational and trustable broadcast. This film, or TV, whatever you want to call it, took that trust and loyalty that its audience had towards the BBC being a reputable and honest organisation, and it pulled the rug out from under its audience by presenting a live, real haunting in the same way as kind of like Most Haunted would years later, and all those kind of Derren Brown or Jack Osborne Investigates kind of shows. Ghostwatch was a fictional piece of ghost hunting that was executed in such a brilliant way that people thought it was real. People were calling the police. People were calling the BBC. The complaints that came out of this are fantastic. This was a film that long before social media, long before everything was spoilt by trailers and fans going and recording and videoing everything, because no one had mobile phones, no one had cameras, were of a poor quality compared to today. So the idea of finding a production, taking a photograph of it, getting it printed, then getting it to somebody who would publicise it, it's impossible. Today, social media spoils everything. You could Google Ghostwatch 2024 and it would show you everything you need to see, and it would spoil the whole thing. 1992 just proves how well an audience can be deceived if a perfect balance of strong direction, you have a cast of real personalities playing themselves, Craig Charles, Michael Parkinson. These were reputable and respected people, still are, still will be, but they cashed in on their own personal profiles to add to the illusion, to add to the deception that what you are watching is real. There is no special effects, and when I say special effects, there's no CGI in this film. There is a masterclass in magic tricks, is what I would say. Deceptive trick of the eyes. There is some cheating in there, I won't lie. They do say, oh, look at this shot, and then they show the same shot later, but it's clearly got something different in it. But at the time, you've got to remember, even in 1992, 1992, VCRs were somewhat rare, so people didn't have the ability to stop, rewind, look at it and screen lock and screen caption. You couldn't have multiple screens going on at the same time, so the deception was completely believable because the technology at the time was used against the audience. So when you thought you saw a ghost, or when you clearly didn't see anything, and then the production company go back and show you the same shot and oh my god, there's a ghost, because it's live television, because there was a misunderstanding that live television is live, there's no way they could cheat it, there's no way they could hide it. Some of the effects are really well done. It's a little hokey in spots, it's a little over the top in some places, but what I would say is so was British television in 1992. You go back to the early 90s and watch any kind of live broadcast, Noel's House Party, Big Breakfast, it is shoddy in places, it is poorly done, the cameras are rolling about all over the place, the actors or the personalities are fluffing their lines or missing their cues. Ghostwatch capitalises in on that. It's got a family of unrecognisable actors playing this haunted family. The idea of pipes and the events of pipes are truly terrifying. They're very simple effects, they're very easy effects, but it's really scary. It's done in a really cool way. If you've never seen Ghostwatch, it takes place at Halloween, so it can meet the criteria of Halloween movies. I really recommend watching this thing. There is a Blu-ray, you can stream it, I think there is a DVD. They are rare now though, because it has become quite a collector's item, Ghostwatch, because it's only had 2 releases in the 32 years now that it has been released. A DVD and a Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is fantastic, it looks great, it's got an amazing documentary on it, but try and watch Ghostwatch uninterrupted, unspoiled. This is a Halloween feature. You close the curtains, turn off the lights, get that popcorn in hand, get your friends and family around and just watch it. Just enjoy it. Don't point out how, the flaws. Don't point out that, oh, that camera's moving around all over there. Look at it as a time capsule for 1992 live television, and it is an amazing ride. And to think that people believed this is real is just a testimony as to how good this thing is. It still regularly shows up in the top 100 scariest television moments of all time. Pipes is a terrifying presence. I can't say anything without spoiling it. Please do watch it, please do find it, have a good time, and just sit there and, if you're an adult with your kids, or if you're a group of teenagers, just take in the fact that they got away with this. They made this feature with no modern technological advancements in 1992. Watch it for the time period it was released, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. It is a great classic piece of British horror. It is a great Halloween feature. Strong recommend. So until next time, stay scared.
Stop it!